Hey guys, Shane here. I'm looking at my clock, it is 10 past 3. And I, for whatever reason, well, there is a reason I can't sleep. I, God has really put it on my heart tonight. I've just been praying, and God has really just put this on my heart to share this. And I feel like I can't go to bed and sleep until I just put this out there. Some of you know this and some of you don't, but my wife and I and a friend of ours gave up everything in the sense of we were living, we had good jobs, we had a house, my kids were settled in schools, we had a pretty good life. But God, for whatever reason, powerfully started to call us, and I'm not going to go into it now, but just through dreams and through encounters and through just lots of random powerful ways, convinced us that we had to do the crazy thing of selling our house, of giving up good jobs and moving to Cork and bring our kids with us, which was always the plan. But when you take a gamble like that and it involves your kids, it's riskier. But he told us to move here because he had seen the suffering of his people in this land and he wasn't okay with it. It's been difficult for people to see God for the loving Father that he is. He is a father who wants his kids back, and he is a good father. He's a good dad. And it's been difficult to see him because of what other religious people or activities or churches or church leaders and scandals, whatever has happened in the culture has made it really difficult for people to see him. And yet many in this land actually haven't given up on the idea of the spiritual aspects of life or the spiritual aspects of faith. They haven't given up on the ideas of community and hanging out with other people and discussing these kinds of things. What they've given up on the idea is being controlled by an institution that has not got their best interests at heart and makes it really difficult for them to actually even know if God is real. And God broke my heart for that and said, Shane, I'm sending you to Cork. Can I plant you there? So technically, we're leading a little group called Presence. It's ipresence.org if you want to look at it online. But I was not raised Christian, and what happened to me, I'll go into it really briefly, but what happened to me was I was about 20 years old. I had decided to try Christianity because I felt that God was real. I had been doing it for about 5 years, and the truth is, I kind of sucked at it. But I also didn't want people to think I was that bad at it either. But I didn't enjoy prayer. I didn't enjoy reading the Bible. I enjoyed the social aspect of church. I didn't always understand what was being talked about. But I knew that he was real. He had touched my life. He had spoken to me. He had given me dreams. He had done things in me that I was either insane or God was really real and was really telling me that he loved me and had a plan for my life and had a purpose for my life, and began to really bring some deep healing from things that he never caused but had witnessed and stood with me and helped me overcome in my life. And I was a terrible Christian. I wasn't terrible, I didn't enjoy it. And one morning, I was about 20 years ago, I felt like God spoke to me one morning and said to me really clearly, Shane, I'm not trying to make you a Christian. And I was pretty confused by that because I thought that was the plan. And he said, no, Shane, the plan I have for you and the goal that I have for you and the purpose I have for you is so much higher than becoming Christian. I want you to become like Jesus. I want you to become just like my son. You are my son, and I want to make you like your brother, Jesus. And he began to really bring some healing and some freedom to me, in the sense of he lifted off a lot of the religious weight that had been dumped on me by the church, and that when it hadn't been dumped on me, I was taking it on thinking that's what was expected or what God expected. He's a father, he wants his kids back. So what I have done is literally, like I said, we've moved to Cork. I've given up literally everything, because I believe with all of my heart, and have gambled well, we have gambled in a sense, like we know that what we do will affect our kids, and nothing is more important to me than my kids. But I really believe that God is going to move in power and be revealed for who He is as the loving Father to this city and Cork and to this land of Ireland that has not been seen. You may want to call that revival, but I believe it's not just an outpouring of His presence, but I believe it's going to lead to cultural transformation. It's going to lead to the way, it's going to be heaven on earth. It's going to be the way that we do things. We are now going to have a different narrative for Ireland. The story is still being written and is not finished. And I went into Starbucks on Opera Lane in the city centre. I asked them what are their worst nights for business, because I want businesses to flourish. And they said Sundays and Mondays. So I was like, great. So can I have upstairs, because they have a separate floor, can I have upstairs once a month, and we will all buy coffee. We'll bring you business if I can have that room. And they're like, sure. And to be honest, they've been better to us. They've been like bringing tray bakes and bringing stuff up and turning the music off for us and closing the room off and having it all ready for us. And we just go in and we just worship. We just sing some songs, but we invite God to come close to us in a coffee shop. And He comes. And people over the last few months have been beginning to hear His voice for the first time, have been having encounters with God that they didn't even know existed. I've met a Russian sailor like 2 months ago who I'm pretty sure was atheist. He certainly was non-believer. Toughened sailor break down in tears as the presence of God came into that room, and he just hugged me. And I will probably never see that man again. But something happened. God is on the move. He is not okay with people thinking about Him the way He is. It's not that He's trying to defend His reputation. He actually wants us to know Him, and He wants to be known by us, and He wants us to hear His voice and to hold His hand and to know Him as a Father. He wants to parent us and father us through life. If you are free tomorrow night, you are very welcome to come to Starbucks. I honestly believe if you come, God is going to show you something about Himself.